You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Bufa. Police have identified human remains that were found nearly a decade ago. Suffolk police say the remains of Lucy Van Heekeren were found by a hiker in Setauket back in 2015. She would have been 61 years old at the time of the discovery, and police are still trying to figure out how exactly she died. And only in Newsday, there's renewed interest in a missing persons cold case from Nassau from 1981. Audrey Chin went missing after leaving her family home to go shopping. Her car was found weeks later in the parking lot of the now closed Plainview Diner. Now this year, Chin's sister gave police DNA samples to help their investigation.
It was very upsetting, stressful, because she would have come home. She wasn't the type of person to stay out all night or do anything like that. Now
Chin was only entered into the National Missing Persons System in February. And there's a swim advisory in place for 65 Long Island beaches. Both Nassau and Suffolk health departments are blaming bacteria buildup from the rain. They recommend a 24-hour period after the rain has ended before going swimming again. You can find a full list of affected beaches on Newsday.com. And going to Fire Island this summer, well, the MTA is urging beachgoers to use the LIRR to get there.
At Bayshore and Sayville, you will take a small shuttle to the ferry terminal. And from Patchogue, it's a 5-minute walk from the train station right here to the ferry terminal.
Now, officials say there are summer packages and tours for places like Robert Moses State Park, Splish Splash, Long Beach, and more. And a young artist from Dix Hills opened up for the Rolling Stones. How cool is that? Brandon Taz Niederauer of Dix Hills played lead guitar in John Batiste's band. The band opened for the Stones on their first night at MetLife Stadium last week. Are the super cheap flights from MacArthur to Florida worth it? Well, you be the judge. Here's a look at the adventures of Scott Vogel.
How bad has this spring been? So cold, so rainy, you'd fly to Florida right now if you could. Even if it was just for 24 hours of sun, sand, turquoise waters, giant margaritas. But, of course, you'd have to be crazy to go to Florida for one day. First, you plan ahead, monitor Google Flights for fare sales. You just might find yourself paying $56 for a round-trip flight to Fort Lauderdale on Frontier Airlines like I did. $56! Of course, for that price, you can't choose what seat you get, you can't bring any bags, only a small personal item with you, so pack light, and make sure you measure it. Frontier is strict about those things. At 8:32 a.m., you arrive at Islip's MacArthur Airport, where fares are cheaper, there's lots of parking just a few feet from the terminal, security's a breeze, it's a travel experience so smooth you find your boarding by 9:01, the aircraft door is closed by 9:31, and the plane actually leaves on time at 9:43. By 12:57, you're in Florida. Actually, you're there by 12:23 because the flight's more than 30 minutes early, which means that you have time for a quick change of clothes in the airport. You're in an Uber by 12:58 and are actually in the Atlantic by 1:23. Enjoy! Few places celebrate day drinking like Fort Lauderdale Beach. There's the legendary Elbow Room. Other places like the Drunken Taco just don't have too many margaritas. You don't want to be tipsy when you rent an e-bike from Broward B-Cycle. And within minutes, you're gliding down one of Lauderdale's well-marked bike lanes on the way to dinner at Coconuts at 5:38 p.m. Sit at the bar for a bowl of Scoobies. Yeah, I didn't know what that was either. They're crab claws cooked in a rich garlicky broth, and they are divine. As are the views when you get on a bike again at 6:45 and head over the causeway, biking past the million-dollar homes and yachts that line the intricate network of canals that earned Fort Lauderdale the nickname Venice of America. It's as beautiful at sunset as famed Los Olas Boulevard is at night, lined as it is with restaurants, clubs, galleries, and boutiques. After that, head to the city's Riverwalk, and at 11, make your way home as your legs will be falling off at that point. Besides, you gotta be up bright and early at 7 a.m. so you can head for the beach as the sun rises over the ocean. And then at 7:46 for breakfast at Lona Cochina. which serves up terrific poached eggs with carnitas and equally terrific waterfront views. But by then you don't have much time, so you head to the beach for one last swim before your Uber ride to the airport, your flight to Islip at 1:57, your arrival at 5:05, and the trip home, after which you'll likely need a vacation from your whirlwind vacation.
Now that's a fast trip. To read more about this story, go to Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. A 92-year-old Holocaust survivor is learning to tango. Steve Langford has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
In a living room in Roslyn, a weekly private dance session that evokes the wonder and the weight of history.
For the hour that I dance, I feel so wonderful, and I feel it makes me forget about all the horrible things that unfortunately is going on into the world now, and makes me forget about my past also.
Rachel Epstein took up the tango a few years ago in her mid-80s, reconnecting with fond memories of Argentine music that had become popular in France, where as a child she spent 3 years in hiding from the Nazis during World War II.
My wanting to do what I would have loved to do was interrupted by a horrible war.
Iran Polat is her tango instructor.
Just living and hearing her past about the Holocaust and the trauma that she lived through, and she's able to be full of life. It's an inspiration to just observe, to be in presence of.
Tango dancing is a powerful and passionate profession of Epstein's resilience, more than 3/4 of a century after she saw her parents dragged away by French police, never to be seen again.
I look forward so much to do my 1 hour once a week. Just makes me feel great.
Epstein's instructor calls tango dancing funny, playful, vulnerable, strong, and transformative. All traits that can be ascribed to the student herself.
She is as inspiring as they come.
Dance of a lifetime. Steve Langford for Newsday TV.
Incredible. Now to read more about this story, go to Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Now let's take a look at your warm and sunny Long Island weather. It was a gorgeous day outside if you were able to get out there and enjoy it. And tonight we are near 60s. Tomorrow we're in the mid-70s and mostly sunny skies. Take a closer look at tomorrow. You can see sun, and mostly sun pretty much all day, and temps above 70s. Here's your 7-day forecast, and check out the weekend. Looks pretty good so far.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Fire Island Ferries.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Ken Buffa. Thank you so much for joining us.